Hello, welcome back to Average Gamer Plays Factorio. Now I've been doing a little bit of tweaking and redesigning on the base. I put in my new depots in a lot more places. I've got one here, one down there, I've got a couple over here, I've got one near the, let's put the tags back on. Let's show the tags. I've got one near the chemical science, I've got one down here. They don't have any trains in them as yet. I've slightly, instead of doing this one as being in on this side and out on this side, I've changed it to just output onto the top, so that if I need to, I can put another one in over here without this junction getting in the way of this junction over here. I've tweaked a few. I've been going through all the junctions and just changing them as much as I there's still a few to do. This junction is still an old style junction, but I've been updating the junctions to the new style design, which I think is slightly better signalled and has less of an effect on the traffic jams. But I've also been making sure that each factory only has one input or output on each straight set of rails only has one input or output on it. So the output for the copper trains for this low density structures, it used to sort of come out down here. It now goes round and up and is the same output as for the finished product over here. So this is the one exit. Well, there's another exit over there for these supply trains dropping stuff off, but the exits are on the left and right, and then the inputs are at the top and the bottom. And I've done that on other stations as well. The plastic station, I've changed the exit from the plastic trains. They all exit out here now instead of at the top. The depot down here is just for fluids. If I turn the train name on, these are all fluid trains, and this is the only depot at the moment for fluids. What I might end up doing is renaming some of the stations here and have some fluid trains waiting here, because I need to put in the rocket fuel factory somewhere. I've labelled it over there, but that needs oil and water. Now I can get the water coming in straight from there. I could get the water straight from here as well. Or pump it in from over here and have the rocket fuel over this side, which is close to a little bit of oil, a little bit more oil, and the oil trains which can pick up from down at the bottom here and deliver up to the top. Now the other thing I was looking at was the actual signals. If I turn the signals on, you can see I've got an awful lot of signals around the base. Now a lot of these are just for the standard junction. If I have a look at an octagon that I've not built anything on, all these signals round here are just for this junction, and all these signals round here are just for this junction. Now these signals in the middle I actually put in as part of the blueprint, but I think they're actually surplus to requirements. A lot of the time these signals get taken out if I put a junction in the way. I take up this whole section of rail and then put the whole junction down, and that junction's got its own set of signals. But if there's no junction along the line, this set of signals still remains, and I think that might have been contributing a little bit towards the traffic jams. So I've been going round a little bit, it may be not quite so obvious to see, but I've been going round a little bit, and if there isn't a junction in the middle, I've been taking the signals up. I've taken some of the signals out along here. There were extra signals along this line here. There were a few signals. You see, you can spot the signals that have been left behind or that are in the wrong place because they flash. So there were a few flashing signals that I could see. There's one there that I need to tidy up. And in fact, I don't think this octagon edge junction is actually signalled properly anyway, because I think there's like missing signals along this section of the rail here, so that might be causing a few other problems as well. So I will double check all those octagon edge stations, junctions rather. But yeah, I'm going to have to start keeping much more of an eye on the train signal situation, and I think this is all spinning off from the fact that I've designed these octagons without really taking the train length into consideration. So we'll have to deal with that as best we can, but most of these junctions do have, or most of these lines do have a junction on them. I need to, take these signals out of there, tidy up this set of signals down here, maybe superfluous. That's set there. One of these sets, maybe even both of those sets. And I might have to go through and take some signals out and then put some more back in if it transpires that trains are sort of waiting a bit too far apart from each other, but it's something I'm going to have to bear in mind. So yeah, an awful lot of signals. If we have a look at the electrical, I mean, I've been tidying it up, but I've been tidying up the junctions. I've had to go through and reconnect all the power lines, and that's taken time. So we're now actually nearly a quarter of the way through mining prod 47. So the base has been, I've been doing a lot of this running around and changing things on 5 times normal speed, so the base has been running quite sort of successfully. In the meantime, it's been 2,156 rockets. I've been putting down a bit more solar power. We've been using up quite a lot of this copper quite quickly. I had to take out some of the lines along here, and there's still 3.8 million over there, but I can see myself having to tap into one of these copper mines down here to bring the items back up. So yeah, that is still all chugging along. Hopefully these junctions, now that they are I manually moved this one a little bit because when I put this one in, it the railway line was on top of where the pump jacks were for the oil, so I just took that out and redid it, so that's why that's got a little bit of a kink in it. So that should all keep running quite nicely, I think, I hope. So let's get back to designing our rocket fuel build. Now we're in a situation where this, I think, will only produce the right amount of rocket fuel for the rockets, and I need to run another one to make some more rocket fuel for the satellites, unless I can find, I think I needed another kind of 250 rocket fuel for everything, including yeah, I need another 12 machines, I think, to make the rocket fuel for the satellites, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not quite sort of 2 rows of anything, is it? I think that the little build that I had in the main base was going to be enough for that, and I don't know, I might just sort of squeeze that in here on the end and just to make sure that that is actually producing enough rocket fuel for both the satellites and the rockets, because if I have it all in the same base, I've only got to have one set of deliveries of oil and water coming in. And if I build this near a lake, I can pump the water in instead of bringing it in on the train. So I might be able to have a single, let's have a think. I might need 2 oil trains coming in. Uh, 5408, 216,000 per minute, which is more than a train a minute. So let's try and build this as being 4 and a bit sets of factories to do the whole lot, including the rocket fuels for the satellites. Now let's have a think about, if I go back to my, do I actually have a blueprint? 300 science per minute rocket fuel, right, that is the build that I put in my main base to do the rocket fuel. Maybe down there and next to that, something like that. How much rocket fuel did we need in total? We needed 4,000 a minute, which is 2 belts. Oh, that's interesting. Those are still blue splitters. Let's I'm not bothered about it using, although it could use a few less beacons. So this is still basically 2 halves of the factory, but it uses effect sources 15, 15, 15 on all of them, I think. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. There's some of these that it does not. Oh well, on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 3 in there is 15. So it is all the beacons are affecting all the machines. I could take out this. It's interesting. So that is just the one set of light oil going up to the top from there. So that now works using half the number of substations. Just going across the one. Interesting that there's a couple of lines missing out of that, but I'm not that fussed about it. Okay. I realise I've not been talking very much, but I've just been concentrating on what I've been doing. Now that's got all that covered in radars. It's got it covered in roboports as well. Basically, I think is this will produce sort of a full pipe of oil, won't it? So that is 100 coming in there. So we need basically 4 pipes of oil. We'll call it 5 for this little one over here, and 5 pipes of water. Five is an awkward number because we've got 8 wagons on the train. I mean, I can easily just sort of put 5 offshore pumps somewhere and pipe in 5 loads of water. That shouldn't be a problem at all. At the moment, we've just got 1 input at the bottom and 1 output for the empty trains. I've got 4 stations here, but they're not actually used for anything. I think I'll just have a single pickup station for the rocket fuel. There we go, something like that, and then we'll have these coming out there like that, and then we'll have a 5 to 8 balancer. Yeah, I don't think that 5 to 8 balancer is evenly split. Although, it may have just taken a bit of time to work its way through. Yeah, everything there does seem to be right, let's just leave that running for a bit. That was only producing 3,600 now. Is it slowing down because of the splitter? All the items are green there. No, they're not. Output full. Let's do something like Could be that there's just 4.5 lines coming in here. Right, we'll do a 3 to 4. And then we'll do a 2 to 4. And then we'll do an 8 to 8. Downgrade all of that. Okay. Speed that up. And we'll see if it starts drawing from all of the lines evenly, and it looks like it is. $3,900 a minute off 1 minute. See, that's the line before, and that's how much more we're getting now, sort of just from changing the balancer on the output. That should all now get power from the outside of the octagon. So I need to just set up yeah, the unloading stations for the oil. So we'll have a distinct train stops there. We'll have some reach, does it? Although if we do that, right, so we need to have, now then. That kind of setup. And then we copy all of that and put it over there for the next one. So we've now basically got 6 lines coming out. Do I want to have the lines coming out that way, or we can have... No, we'll have them all... so we needed to have... we've got 4... Oops, excuse me. do something like that, where we'll have one. And then I can put pumps in along the way, so I can have basically a perhaps if we set up an infinity pipe in there. Was there something on? Yes, we'll try something like this. So, assuming that these tanks are full of oil and that there's enough trains coming in, this is the kind of setup that'll work, I think. So the oil comes in, and then let's just double check. All that is full, all that seems to still be full. Still 3839. It dipped a little bit, and it's gone back up and it's holding steady. So again, this is assuming that there's enough oil coming in on the trains, and I may have to make sure that I've got plenty of oil fields and plenty of trains set up so that we can have a pretty steady supply. I might even set these up with, put the other stackers back in there and make sure that even when a train there is ready, there's still maybe even up to 4, 5, 6 trains stacked up. I really do not want this to start running out of oil. I want there to be plenty of oil trains running around this base. I'll build this near a lake. We will get the water pumped in through the normal pipes. Now, I think that will do for a blueprint for rocket fuel. I could still, I'm not that bothered about a handful of beacons. Merge those two together into that lot. But then I've got to fiddle about with the pipes and everything, so I won't bother doing that. So the only thing left to do with this when I put it in is to get the water in from somewhere, but I'll just get some offshore pumps. I will blueprint that. Do something like that. We got rocket fuel. We'll do it as rocket fuel 5k, because that's what it will support. So it is. I can never find where the K is. Tick that, create blueprint, put that down there. Blueprint book, 5k science builds. There it is, filed away. And yeah, that will do for today. I think I will I'll come back a bit later, maybe start putting that down, but I think, fingers crossed, I'm hoping that is going to work okay. I've just got to find the best place to put it, but I'll bear in mind now the signalling on the trains, the in and outs on the train stations. I might set this to do 2 more stackers for each line. There's room on there because the stackers are deleted in the middle. And yeah, hopefully if I've got enough oil around the base and enough trains supplying it, that should work. Okay, I will leave that there for now, and I will say see you next time.